Everybody, this is my agent, the brilliant Josiah.
Welcome.
Yay! Josiah. Josiah, you and I have worked together for like what, 7 years now, something like that.
I'm going to say 2014.
14, something like that. Yeah. So Josiah is so
Cheer-
wise.
Cheerleader Death Squad.
That's right. That's how we can remember it. Yes. Josiah is so wise. He's so kind. He's so smart. But like he's a wise, kind, smart bulldog who gets it all done. He's like a big fan of justice. He's the hardest working person that I know.
I mean,
Um, and actually, just before I pushed record, we were talking about quarantine and being frustrated and all the things. You said this really cool metaphor about like if you're a bodybuilder or if you're a gymnast. Can you explain your metaphor one more time so they can hear it?
so what I was saying is, even though we're on quarantine, we're in isolation, some obviously everyone has a different situation with that. It's still like your job to um, be prepared. And I was saying, if you're a bodybuilder who wants to go to the Olympics or a gymnast, even though the Olympics is canceled and even though we're on a quarantine, they still get up every morning to figure out how to work out and and get better with their skill. And they don't eat like crap, and they stay you know they stay fit because they have a purpose. You know,
Right.
yeah, because one day quarantine will end, life will go back to normal, and people will be competing again for stuff. So, uh,
Yeah. So
and
while the competition's sleeping, they're still getting an edge up.
yeah, I mean exactly. I mean, it, the fact that there's nothing going on doesn't mean that you should not be doing the work. You should not be, reading things, or, I was saying about practicing self tapes, because until there's some type of vaccine. I'm hearing that a lot of offices are no longer doing, in-person sessions. It'll all be self tape, all self taping. So, um,
Right. So valuable to get like so good at doing that.
yeah, I mean, obviously there are lots of great self-tape studios, but I mean, we have this thing called the iPhone that's such a great um, invention, and you can make an amazing self-tape on that. So, I mean, using this time to find what corners of your apartment um,
Right.
has the best, you know, um,
Lighting, background, all that stuff. Yeah.
I have a client who did a photo shoot by FaceTime with with the studio for his film that comes out next month. And I mean, the studio sent him some equipment. He set it up, and then the photographer got on FaceTime and was telling him. I mean, he had to learn how to style himself, learn how to do his own and stuff that he
Whoa.
doing. That there were people, but because obviously makeup artists are going to come to his house,
Right. Right.
house, because everyone's under quarantine. So he had to learn how
It's
to
like
do that.
self-sufficient now.
Yeah, so it's during dark times, it's actually a really good time for innovation. And so, I think you remember that email I sent out to you guys. If
Yeah.
you to like learn a language, it's a good time to, you know, um, if you've had an idea to write something, it's a great time to like write that thing. Like it doesn't mean or to find, you're not a one-dimensional person. There's you're not just an actor. I mean, you're a human being who acts, who
Right.
you're a creative person who expresses themselves through acting, but it's not the only thing that defines who you are.
Yeah, we should be able to talk about something else. Well, hey, I have a question for you about your pet peeves. Can I ask you about your pet peeves?
I have a lot of pet peeves, but in what
novel. If let's say we're an actor who's looking for a rep, an agent or a manager, and even if you're like not looking, but somehow they get your email or they like meet you at an open call or something, if actors pursue you or agents at Innovative, what is something that just like drives you up the wall that you would say, please don't ever do this?
I mean, the one that, that happens that surprisingly happens to me a lot is people spell my name wrong. My first name wrong. I mean, I understand my last name, which is not an excuse because it's right in my email address.
It's actually in the email. Yeah.
Email address. But I get people who misspell my name. Honestly, that's my
the biggest. Well, because that means they didn't take the time to just look you up at all.
Yeah, I mean, they clicked my name. They clicked you tapped my email address, but you didn't address me correctly.
Right.
Josh,
Right.
Most common is Josh. I'm like, I'm not Josh. Josiah is my name.
You didn't really go read it. Okay. Well, what about this? What if you get some kind of unsolicited email from an actor and they're
and they're what?
And they're like, and let's say you're not taking anybody new, but you like what do you like to see? Like you might pass for now, but what do you like to see in an email?
I look at every email that comes into me.
Okay.
I will look at the person. Actually, it's always dependent on what, if someone is. I mean, it really depends on honestly the person. But people include links and resumes. Training is there's someone that I heard this preacher say something once that desire, the pursuit is a proof of desire. And if you want to be an actor. And you're not training, which is like somebody who says, "Oh, I want to have six pack and have abs," and you're not eating correctly, or you're not going to, then that's you don't want that.
Wow.
You don't want it. It's not real. So, but
that's great advice. Wow.
But I always look at the emails that come through. I always look to see if there's training. I look at every resume that comes into me, and I look at every reel.
Cool. Okay. Thanks for that advice. Is there anything in particular that you would say, like, I have a lot of people who feel stuck, like they're with one manager who won't let them pursue an agent because they say, like, you're not ready, or I don't want you to be with anybody else, or somebody with an agency and they won't send them out to managers. Do you have a thought about, like, it's good for actors to have both, or if it's fine if they don't, or trust your rep or pursue on your own?
Honestly, I think it's going to come down. There are multiple reasons why people don't want people to do things. There's a lot of reasons why. Some people get managers first, and some people get agents first. For an actor who has an agent, if you're going out all the time and a manager is an added service. Like it's an additional, like they're not free. Like you're paying like an extra commission, and I don't tend to recommend for newer actors who already. If I sign someone from like a college, I'm like, you're not signing with an agent with a manager yet, because let's build our relationship. Let's build your career, and then at some point when you get to a place where your career starts booming and we need more hands on deck, then let's find a manager that can join the team that already exists and to help move that forward. So that's my experience from the agent side. But if you're only a manager, um, a manager will want to put you with an agent because probably most managers don't have, agents have more access than some managers that
Yeah.
doesn't, some managers. And if you've been a developmental like client at some point, and and your manager sort of helped you, you booked, you started booking in your co-stars, or you booked your first guest star, you booked your first year's regular job, and then okay, now we need to add to the team. The manager will reach out to agents and help facilitate, that you get an agent. But if you haven't booked anything, if you're
Yeah.
going out and you haven't booked anything, then
That
why
makes
would
sense.
you sign it?
Yeah. No, that's so smart. You're so smart. That's so smart. Last question. Your actors who are like under your flock, and you're our shepherd and we're your little people. Is there anything positive or negative that let's say we're already signed, we're already working with you, we already have a relationship. What are some things, or a thing, or some things that you love you're seeing that your actors do? What are some things your clients do that bug you and irritate you and are your pet peeves? Like help us be better
Well,
clients.
you know me, I'm pretty direct. So, so there's never, um, I'm not the guy to be like passive aggressive about, something. I will call you and be like, I'm like, what's going on? I'm very direct like that. So, um, but like I always say to people, like there's this one person who always asks for more time on auditions or self tapes, and I'm like, no, you don't need more time. You just need to get it in when you need to get it in. Again, I understand that actors like to sit with material, and I get it, but that in this person's case, it's a time management issue.
Is
Not
it Adam Shapiro? Let's be honest.
no. Shappy is on top of things always.
Adam Shapiro was a guest in our class last week.
You are.
So, yeah.
So much. He's always on top. He's like you. Like when you send the self tape, like within and literally 2 hours later, self tape in your inbox. It's like.
So what do you love? What do you hate? You love when we submit right away and listen to you and don't ask for an extension. You hate when we always ask for an extension.
Again, it's okay to ask for an extension like occasionally, but it's when it becomes like every audition that we send you, yes, for an extension, then that's a problem.
Yeah. Oof, that's a pet peeve.
We're gonna have a conversation about that. Actors not being off book on their self tapes, massive pet peeve. You will get a phone call from me if I watch your self tape and you're not off book, because there's no reason why you should not be off book in the self tape. None.
Right.
None whatsoever. So self tapes that are not like shot well, that the proper lighting, I don't like, whatever, but also like bring in the essence of the character that we sent you.
So like if the actors are just going through the motions and you can tell that they're just like phoning it in.
Yeah, just go through, and like sometimes I'll be like, you know what, I can't deal with this person right now, and just let it go. But some things I'll be like, why did you send this to me?
Right.
Go do it again. That's not what that's not what this is what they're asking you to do.
Right. Well, and that makes you a good agent.
Yeah,
That's
and then,
you looking at this.
I watch multiple self tapes for the same thing, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, this person really crushed them, and this person, I'm like, wait,
Right. That's awesome.
They have the same material. This person clearly invested their heart into this, and this person did not.
Yeah.
Get a phone call from me. So
then we could probably do the opposites then. So your pet peeves would be like, just your equipment setup is not, it's a waste of time. You're not off book. You're looking down at your page. You're clearly not memorized. You rushed this job. You got it in late, versus like prepared, looks great. I can tell you made choices. You got it into me on time, like respecting you in the process.
Yeah.
Those are your signs.
Yeah.
It's like a kid's book. It's like a child. It's a good night moon with Josiah. I love it. Any last little thing that you would have as we wave goodbye to you? Any last little thoughts for us?
It's a rough time for everybody in the world. I mean, we're all struggling in some way. I'm learning to be patient with myself, and I have super high standards myself, and but I'm learning to just like relax, just like chill, and like not, and it's okay to like not on a couple of days not do any work, and to just like it's okay to sit in front of the TV all day and drink my Cheetos and Coke. and, well, Coke Zero for me. And it's also been a great time for me to like connect with a lot of friends and family, and so I mean, just tell people, I'm just encouraging people to just like find a way to be okay, even though things are not okay. Not that every day is rosy and but just take take every day as it comes. I've been listening to this podcast by Brené Brown, and one of the podcasts, she had this guest on, and he was talking about feeling. He has a book about feeling feelings, and where I am allowing myself to feel feelings, whereas in the past I just sort of like maybe just brush them off and like and just like gone about my day, but I'm allowing myself to, I'm working on myself because I want to be better. I'm a better human being. Like my job doesn't define my job is not my identity. It's who God made me is my identity, and I am like sort of learning more about myself and working on myself so I can be better for the clients that I work for and for the company that I work for. So
good, Josiah. So good.
People should look after yourself. Do the work, read the books, listen to the podcast, but not just listen, but apply the lessons of those things to your life, because that's how you change. So
good, so profound, so helpful. Thank you. Imagine everyone standing behind me going, thank you.
Love you, Carl.